Hello, my name is Gregor von Laschewski and I will be teaching you today about how easy it is to use jabref. Jabref is a bibliography manager that allows you to manage references in bibtec format, and it can also export the bibtec format in a multitude of other bibliography management formats. So what we need to do is first we need to create a database. So there's not much that I can click on here. So I create a new database. I may want to save this database under my name. As you can see here, I can say save database or save selected as. So I can select certain database entry and save them. So let me say save database as, and then I may be giving here my title. I'm Gregor .bib, and I'm saving that into my folder where I would like to have it. And now I can actually start putting entries in, and I can put entries in simply via the plus sign here. It says new entry, edit entries, edit the string of the entry, or delete the entry. So let's edit an entry. Now you are presented with a variety of entry types. And there's an article which is only applying to journal articles. Remember that that Times or something like this is actually not a journal. This is like a periodical. So you need to be not putting it as an article. An article is really a scientific article. An article in a book is called in book. A book itself is called a book. Booklet, which are smaller kinds of books, are here. In collection, that means an article in a collection. The conference, which could be a whole conference proceedings or conference reference, but you should be using here proceedings if the conference has actually produced the proceedings. But if you just refer to a single article in the proceedings, you just say in proceedings. Master's thesis, PhD thesis, and tech report are no problem. I think you will understand what that means. And then we have unpublished. This would be unpublished work that has not been made it into a journal yet. And we have field MISC that we use most often for electronic online publications. So let's just add maybe an entry here from our web page. Maybe we want to add it or add the entry Google, and simply says we press this. So we are now being presented with two windows, one on top that actually lists our entries, and one in the bottom that we can actually fill out. So now, one of the things about web page entries is we want to always start them with www- so that we know this is a web link. And then we say Google. That's just for us to remember what it actually is. Then we go to optional fields. I don't know how Google, who the author of Google is, but I know it's published as a web page. In year, on months, I can put the access time in when I actually visited this. Let me just not do this right now. And then we can, for example, say here Google, right? As maybe we even say Google website if we want to be a little bit more precise. And then let's go back to general, and we find here a URL, and then we say http://www.google.com, and we are almost ready. If I have, for example, keywords, maybe I want to put the website in there, then I can put that in this thing. If I want to put an abstract in there, what this is about, or review, I can do this. And the actual entry is visualized through the bibtec source. And you can actually paste and copy this, for example, in your bib file that you maintain in share LaTeX. And then you can refer to this particular label in your document and can refer to this. So let us do that now also. So let me just pop up share LaTeX. Share LaTeX. I log in. I have already created maybe a paper in here, paper 1. I load this paper. I see here a bib file sample. Let me not change that. And in this, I see the content. We had the default Einstein a reference in here. So let me now go to my jabref, paste and copy my new reference in here in share LaTeX. Now I return to my document that I want to have, and I want to probably put a new citation in here. We find this information on site. And as you see, this is so clever. It has already figured out that you have added the www Google reference to your sample bibliography. So I just select this because a pop-up is coming up. I select this over here, finish my sentence. I press recompile. And as you can see here in the view, we now have also Google as web page. Never mind that the URL not shows up yet. I will be showing you in future tricks on how to do that. We have to change the bibliography style, but don't worry about it. We know that it's there, and when you submit your homework at one point, please submit not only the PDF, but make sure that you have also submitted your bib file as well as the original text file and the drawings. All of this will be hopefully done in Git, and we will be teaching you how to do this. So this was actually it from the main difficulty level. As you can see, there's really nothing to it. You just have to fill out forms, and all the formatting is being done for you. It can't be easier, in my view. This is really simple. Now, some people may want to use Word for editing their documents, and this decision is really up to you. If you want to do this, jabref has the ability to export your library. When you say export, you can choose a format that is suitable for whatever tool you're using. There's, for example, an open document spreadsheet, LibreOffice and OpenOffice formats. You find the RIS format, you find ISO 690 formats, you find HTML format, and here you find EndNote. And if you're using Word, you can probably export this as EndNote and then import it via EndNote into Word. There's also an MS Office 2007 format. I have not used that. If you find some more information about how you do that, please let us know, and then we point other students to it. But as you can see, you have the ability. One thing I would like to warn you about is that the fields between BibTeX and EndNote are different. So if you make corrections, you should be doing them in BibTeX and then export again to EndNote and then import it into EndNote and not in EndNote directly. That's my recommendation. EndNote has also the ability to export BibTeX through some add-ons, but we insist on having the BibTeX format as part of your paper. So this is really it for this particular section. Editing is easy. Now I'll show you some more advanced thing. Assume I would like to add an entry that is maybe coming from an author. Let's assume I look on IEEE Explorer. There I have a library, a digital library, and I search, for example, for the term von Lachevsky. And I get now references being presented that I have written as an author in the past. I can visit one of these references, and as I can see is when I look in this, all the information about this paper is already provided, and I can download citations. So let me download the citation, and there I have a BibTeX citation clicked on. I can also click on I want to have the abstract. Let's just do the normal BibTeX, and you can see you can also do this with EndNote. And here is the reference. So let me just post this. So how do I get this now into jabref? Well, I simply add a new entry. In this case, if you remember, this was probably in proceedings, so I don't have to do really much. So I click in proceedings here, and then I actually highlight this entire area and paste my entry in here, and simply type visit the other fields. And when I go back to BibTeX resources, it has auto-formatted it, and it has all the necessary information in here other than the URL. One of the things that I may want to do is I may want to actually search for the title and see if I don't find this particular publication also on not just on IEEE, but maybe for free at some site. And as you see here, as we find here, actually a PDF citation link. This is coming a couple of things later, and here we, for example, find a PDF link to this particular paper, and I may want to pass it in. And you can see that you know, this author, like me, has actually published his bibliography in GitHub, and you can find more entries and just simply copy them as you need into your papers. And this way you don't have to think about the formatting, because the formatting is done automatically for you when you add this, for example, in your paper. So let's do this again. Let's find the page that we looked up in Share LaTeX. Go to paper number 1. We go into our sample bib. We add now to the sample bib our entry that we have managed also in jabref. Now we go in here. This is very inconvenient label. Maybe I want to change this. Maybe I call this last peer, and then maybe I put the year on there, 15. And when I'm in my paper, let's just add another citation here. We simply say comma/cite. Now I'm searching for, I see last peer here. And now I recompile this. And as you can see from this, let me try to make this a little bit bigger. As you can see, this entry appears nicely and formatted in this particular paper. One thing that you should notice is when you look at this, I have here multiple authors in this section here. They are not comma separated, but they are actually with and separated. And technically there is a small mistake here in the reference that we have obtained from IEEE. It should actually Wondlaszewski, comma G, otherwise my 1 will be interpreted as a middle name, which then results that it's not listed under V but under L, which would be the German way of doing it, but this is typically the American way on how we actually do this. So if you have a de Maizière or something like this, or Wondlaszewski, then you may want to, or Mac or so, you may want to consider this to use the comma to separate the first name from the last name. That's all. You can certainly save this, and you can upload this database also to Git so that you can manage this collaboratively. This is all for this particular lesson, and thank you for listening.